Thanks for reaching out. I was excited to hear from you.
And how have you been?
I've been really good. I've had a lot of life transitions in the past years, especially moving from California to Denver a couple years ago. But it's all been good. I feel fortunate that I'm able to move because I work remotely, so it worked out perfect.
And you've been doing for work for like a long time, right?
Oh yeah, I've been doing marketing and web work for about 17 years now.
Okay, yeah, yeah. 'Cause I remember when we first met, you had been doing remote work and things. So that was like my first time working with someone who worked remote and just kind of did with their own marketing business. So it's just great experience. And are you getting back in to rapping? Do you take a break? Is it back?
Yeah, I did. And I think it was years ago when we met, and I had mentioned to you that I wanted to get back into it.
Mhm.
But in hindsight, at that time, I wasn't really ready.
Yeah.
It wasn't, yeah, until much later that I actually started writing and being more active with music again.
And what made the switch? How did you get back into it?
Yeah, honestly, it's kind of unexplainable. I just really got inspired. I thought that I wasn't going to rap anymore because if you recall, I shared my story before that I stopped rapping because of a mental breakdown,
Mm.
and I lost all my ability to rhyme and come up with cadences and lyrics and stuff like that. And just in the middle of the night in 2022, I woke up and felt inspired to write a song.
So that's awesome. So just woke up and like, oh, it's back.
Yeah, and it was crazy because I woke up, I felt inspired, I threw on a beat, started writing, and I couldn't stop. Like literally that night, I finished the song and shared it with a producer that I'd worked with in the past. And 3 weeks later, we actually recorded the song, and it was the fastest turnaround that I'd ever had before. Before it would take a long time to write a song and hours or multiple sessions to record, but that particular song was so easy and we recorded it in 30 minutes.
Have you tracked it back to what was there a moment before that where things change looking back on it?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, not at all. I mean, I'd always been very inspired by music and always listening for different rappers who had a unique style, but I kind of gave up, I was just like, I don't know if I'll ever be able to do this anymore. And for the past couple of years, it's been different. I'm not as, I don't make as much music as I used to when I was younger, but I definitely am more inspired now than I was before.
Oh, that's really interesting. And it's cool because I kind of begin to feel like 2020 to 2023. I feel like I didn't do as much. Well, once we moved back to Iowa, I feel like we had the kid, and then I just got in the routine of just doing that and stopped kind of thinking about like marketing stuff. Then just kind of almost just gave up on that. And then me and one of my best friends started a podcast probably about a year ago just to talk about dad life and business and stuff.
Mhm.
And that kind of got the itch back. And then in September, I think it was just like I opened my phone and it was like a random Gary V clip about just like how with the internet, just the way everything is right now in AI, there's such just this land grab moment of time where it's never been easier to actually pull off your goals. Then he's like, I beg of you, just go all in for one year. And I was just like, I'm gonna do that. Like I'm actually going to just go all in on that to not kind of be like, I'm trying it a little bit, and then I kind of started probably in January, February, and it's been so fun.
That's dope. That's dope. I'm really happy that you got back into it. I mean, you and I worked together. It must have been like 2018 or something like that.
Yeah.
And I always felt like you had really creative ideas, and I'm happy that you decided to continue with this and pursue it.
Yeah, yeah. So that was always kind of my thing too. It's like I always had ideas, but I just couldn't execute or like just follow
Mm.
through to make them into a thing. And now just with kind of taking the same structure I use for like working out and weightlifting, I apply that to like marketing, like the
Hmm.
habits and stuff. And it's just been a lot easier just getting a better routine with things too.
Yeah. How do you get inspired these days when it comes to marketing?
Um, how do I get well? I've always just loved like commercials and ads, so I think I get inspired by knowing it's just as creative as I want to be.
Mm.
Then I'll
Hmm.
think about jokes in my head and be like, oh, that could be a commercial or that could be an ad. But yeah, I don't think I really get inspired to do marketing. It's just what I want to do, if that makes sense. It just comes natural, which I never really realized that before.
That's cool.
But I feel like I do. Yeah, I think I just think of what's possible of when I daydream. I daydream of just like having more options. Or when I go on a vacation, it's like, what if I could just do this whenever I wanted?
Yeah.
So using like that type of stuff just to to mo.
Yeah, I hear you on that. There's this one time, so some good friends of mine that used to live in Texas, and they recently moved to Colorado. We were hanging out one day, and we're just sitting on their balcony looking into the sky, like just chilling. And an airplane flew by, and she said, "If that's possible, anything's possible." And it was just so simple, the simplicity of that word. Like, I don't think she realizes to what extent what she said really struck me, because I thought about it, I'm like, yeah, she's right. If airplane travel, if stuff like that's possible, anything is possible. And that really has shifted the way that I think about marketing, the way I think about my life, and what potential that I have.
Mhm.
Because there's all these people who have created really amazing things, things that are out of this world and we all thought would never exist. So I relate to that to marketing too. Whenever a client is asking for something, yeah, it's all possible. And it's just a matter of thinking about time, resources, and effort. Like, what does it take to make those things happen? May or may not be possible because of budget or other limitations, but it is possible.
Yeah. It's like it's possible. So that's another thing is I think that's what was a big one over like the last year. I realized that me judging myself trying to do this is really what's been stopping me from
Mm,
making the move. Like, oh, like I won't be able to create like a media company, or I'll look dumb. Like, I'm not an expert in this. Just so many things. And then once I started, it's just like, oh, this is such a good idea. Like, this is great. And it's like, okay. Like, it's really just been me just holding myself self back. So now I just feel like, oh, let's just go, just all offense.
yeah, I mean, one way to look at it, and I don't know if I ever shared this with you, but I'm very into astrology, the law of attraction, and a whole bunch of stuff, right? But the way I look at it is like we have a particular purpose in life, a particular direction that we are supposed to go. And it may or may not be clear what that direction is. However, everything that happens pushes us in that direction. And sometimes that could be a setback, sometimes that could be something that seems like a delay, but everything will still move you in that same direction. And in the entrepreneurial life, like, mindset is everything. I mean, I've been through the worst of the worst when it comes to finances or feeling discouraged. And at the end of the day, you're right. Like, just like you said earlier, it's really up to ourselves to keep on going.
Yeah, and it's just it's so hard to think that you can make it if you don't have like examples or hear the positivity as well. And that's why almost every morning, I listen to like a motivational video just to put that back in my head,
Yeah,
and it just helps to set the whole tone.
totally.
And that's just knowing that like it is possible to like just create your business and live on your own terms, and people do it, but it seems like everyone thinks like, yeah, but not me. There's just
Hmm.
always that excuse, and now just thinking, well, let's just pretend I could do it. What would I do? I would just actively like get my job. I would see if I could do some marketing there, then and just play the long game for forever.
Yeah,
So it feels like a hobby stress wise, but I'm treating it like a job because that's like what it is and what I want it to be.
that's cool. I think you definitely have the right direction.
Yeah, yeah. It's just been nice because I love to drive. I love cars, so that my job now. I do a delivery, air conditioners, water heaters and such. And I have time to help them with their social media to do stuff
Mm.
just when I'm back. And I'm not so mentally drained. I still have energy to do this and do other things. And that's something where I've always just listened to my gut. And
Hmm.
I've always been drawn more to do what you like. And I think you might be able to do something. Can I remember thinking that this in like high school when I was like, man, this like high school, I am not good at this. I don't think that I'll be able to do this type, but there's something out there, but I didn't know what. And now I'm like,
Hmm.
oh, I think that was marketing, and it's just great
Hmm.
to have that realization.
Yeah, there's something about being an adult. As adults, we're always looking for certainty or evidence that something's going to work. And unfortunately, when it comes to dreams or something that you're reaching for, the evidence isn't always that clear immediately. You know, the position that you're in now at your work, like it might not be for another few years that you understand exactly why you were there. And I
Mhm.
feel like I've experienced that a few times too, and I'm like, whoa, like this all makes sense. Like all these things that I thought would never, that I stopped and I thought would never go anywhere. Like now, I'm just like, oh, okay, I just wasn't ready yet, or I needed to develop myself more, or I needed more connections, and now everything makes so much more sense.
Yeah, yeah, that's great. And yeah, yeah, because you really do learn from heavy experience. Like I worked this one job for only like 7 months, and it was awful. Like I just hated every minute of it. But now it just I put in perspective, like, wow, my job now is great, and I know that I can do something I don't want to do because I need to. But just
Yeah.
knowing that is just like, well, if I ever needed to, I could do it again.
Mm-hmm.
And there'll be days when I'm like driving home from work, and I'll see him still on a job. Like, oh, I'm so happy.
Mm.
So, yeah. So so going back to being an entrepreneur, how do you like manage everything being on you?
Mm. I think everything got a lot easier by building a team. Initially, when I first started, I had so much passion that carried me through. I had a lot of energy, I had a lot of passion. I was like, how old was I? I was like 29 when I started this business. And I was down to do the work. I was working day and night, getting things done for my clients. But one thing I realized after a few years is that was really taxing. you know the
Hmm.
the sleepless nights or just being with your clients and managing them over time wasn't, after a while, it wasn't really sustainable. And so
Hmm.
I ended up meeting a business partner and building a team, which took a lot of pressure off, but created other forms of pressure, because now all of a sudden I had to pay other people. I had to price out proposals properly. Like there are a whole slew of other responsibilities that I had, but it wasn't doing the task oriented thing. Like my brain power was still like I was able to retain it because I had teammates to do all the like really tedious work.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like building systems and process, that was like game changing, you know, because once everybody knew what they needed to do, and I did this for a few years and really trusted the people that I worked with, it was like, wow, okay, now we can actually grow. Now there's a lot of confidence for us to take on bigger projects
Mhm.
and just kind of see where it goes from there. So yeah, team building. I feel like that was the number one thing.
Ooh, I like that too. Cause me now, I'm doing as much as I can just by myself. One because it's what I can't afford, and I want to know enough about everything.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Therefore, I would bring on a partner or somebody else, and I just want the thing to be like me. I think that's why I wanted to create like a media company instead of just apply for jobs. So I can just do whatever I want essentially.
Yeah, yeah, and you could do that. You could absolutely create that. I think because I follow your social media. I've known you for several years now. I feel like what one of the secret sauce, aside from having the team, is really having your own creative flexibility, not
Uh,
really following the trends, not doing something just because everybody else is. In fact, I feel like in my career, it's been more beneficial that I disagree with other marketers. You know, like clients will say, "Oh, I heard this, this, and this," and then I'll pull up data or things from my past experience, and I'll be like, "You could do that, but let me show you this," and I'll challenge other people's opinions, and they'll be like, "Oh, wow," because no one, oftentimes, people don't want to be confrontational, they don't want to disagree. And I think being non agreeable and just being confident in my expertise has really taken us really far in terms of client acquisition.
yeah, yeah. Now there was somewhere where I'm confident in like I know like what to do to help, but I haven't proved it. I don't have a big enough portfolio. I feel just to not approach clients, but that's like where like the where my next step is now. It's like
Yeah,
I'm
I hear you.
doing sorry, and I'm doing like a project for my work, and then I want to start pursuing just other companies just for
Yeah.
freelance work. I think.
Yeah, and I think you should. And one thing I'll say is that there's a lot of companies that say like, "Oh, yeah, but I don't have the portfolio or I don't have the experience." All you need is to be convincing. And I feel like, I mean, for us, like we have a website and but we barely do social media. We don't have examples on our website at all. But I think our advantage is that I can convince you that I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, yeah,
I feel like, especially because I know you, I feel like as long as you can hone in the skill of being convincing and having conviction and everything that you're expressing to the client and they see your passion, then the work doesn't matter. Like the portfolio. I mean, if you really wanted, you could download things. And I'm just saying this because I've seen other marketers do this. I don't recommend this, but
mm.
Upworkers and stuff, I've seen they just download stuff from like stock websites and stuff, and then they put it on there. I'm like, dude, that's not real. But like clients don't really know the difference sometimes. I just feel like you just have to sound like you know what you're talking about, and you have to have creative ideas. So don't let the portfolio stop you. I feel like.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's just I've never just a few times, but since I've been back, I haven't gone out and just like gotten a new client. So it's like the first kiss thing, like still like all like nervous, but then like once I
Yeah, yeah.
do it, it's fine. So yeah, and one thing I've been doing is I've just been giving businesses I like just free social media marketing plans, and I've been repping Blue Ox some, and they've been hooking me up with
Nice.
some gear. Yeah, so great vodka made from corn here in Iowa. Highly recommend.
Nice. Okay. Dope.
Yeah, distilled from corn, so it's got an extra little smoothness to it.
Okay,
Really like it. Yeah.
very cool.
So even that, like that's cool. Like I've never gotten like just free merch before, and it's like oh, like this is like a thing, like just things are happening, even though that order. But just once you start, just like just small wins before you like make it. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's often forgotten. But
Yeah.
like the path to there is also fun. It's not like just all suck and then happy, too.
Mm-hmm.
But it's yeah, yeah, it's been fun just getting more confident. And like I feel like I'm in the position where like I wanted to be at just numerous times, but never actually made the move to get there, so it feels great.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Right, and with the single, it's on everything, right? Did it on?
Yeah, yeah, it is on everywhere. So I was recently featured on Norkin for Life's Girl Like That remix. There's a bunch of us on there, but I'm the third person on there. Yeah, it's on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music, everywhere that you could stream music. And it's a really fun track. She put together a very unique group of people to make a song basically about women empowerment with an
Yeah,
old
it's
school
dope.
vibe.
It's dope. I like this. Oh, this is sick. Yeah, and the fact that you do when you're an entrepreneur, that's like you're putting yourself out there, and it's like oh, and I also rap too. It's just I feel like that's a good way to be. It's like lean into your interest hard enough where they're both a big part of you.
Yeah, totally. I agree with that. It's a good outlet. You know, a lot of the work that we do in marketing and web is so cerebral. You know, you're always coming up with ideas, talking with the clients, doing research, and being able to have a creative outlet like rap or music has definitely supported me in not having to think so hard.
Yeah, and I feel like it's just sets you apart too. Like, got she the marketing and SEO, oh, and raps too, right? Yeah, like
Yeah.
is that thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Uh,
people are always shocked.
yeah, it's like what, and then you hear it, it's like, oh man, this is fire. So,
Yeah, I'm almost like not embarrassed when I tell clients because that's like not what I lead with.
oh no,
But
fair.
but you know, sometimes I'll talk with a client and maybe they do music or they sing or something. I'm like, oh yeah, I make music too. I rap, and they're like, you do? And I'm like, yeah, I'll send you the links. And I'm like, don't worry, I'm good. You know, I'm like, I'm really good. You know, like when somebody says like, oh yeah, I make music, and then you're like, but do they though? Like, is the music good? You know? But I've been doing this for a long time. I feel confident in it.
Yeah, yeah. Then it speaks for itself. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Can I ask you one more question? I want to take up all of your time
Yeah.
here. Yeah, yeah. So what was what's the best way to get the first client? I'll just ask that one.
Yeah, I think the best, okay, let me think about this one. Well, I do feel like you got to know what you want to do. You know, I know I early on in my career, I think I just pretty much took on any projects I could get, you know, and
Mm-hmm.
that's one way. That's one way, but it's not always enjoyable when you do that. You know, because sometimes you might take on a project and there's like a learning curve, and sometimes you don't charge enough, and then all of a sudden it's a pain, you know. So I feel like for the first client, think about what it is you want to do. When you pitch to that client, be confident and share your, you know, your true authentic self, your true authentic ideas. You know, don't give them every idea that you have, but just give them something to be intrigued, and make sure that you're charging enough that you can feel right about it. One thing I learned in my whole career, even to this day, is that when you charge way too little, like to the point where the amount you charge is meaningless, the clients are assholes. And that's I don't know why. You know, the
Mm-hmm.
client expectations are so high when the price is so low. So if ever they're like, I don't know if I could pay that, can you go lower? Like, I am always really hesitant about that because I know what happens. The expectations go really high when people don't pay enough. And two, like, because there's sometimes there's a learning curve or it's your first client, you might take longer than you should on the project. So there needs to be enough funds there for so you don't feel like you're struggling through it,
Mhm.
because you might think this project is going to take you a month, but all of a sudden it takes 3 months because maybe the client's not getting back to you fast enough. Maybe they have to extend their payment plan. Several reasons, but it has to be worth it so you can do your best work.
Yeah, I like that too. And I think I've been thinking a lot about like a car dealership, shipping car stuff because I have other like car videos I want to do, and I think I could merge them all into like that niche.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think that
Yeah, that's cool. Is that why you do a lot of your videos in the car?
no, just because I'm driving.
Okay.
I mostly just got out for work,
Yeah.
or I just have a moment to say something.
Well, it seems like it was like a subconscious like branding decision, because like,
You
yeah, because you're in the car a lot, and you said you're into cars, and immediately I thought, and I'm a marketer, but
know?
immediately I thought to myself like, oh, okay, he's always in the car. Like I associate, like I know I could rely on you saying something funny or something insightful or something in the
Okay.
car, so it could be a part of your brand.
Okay, I like that. I like that. Thank you. Ben, this is just a side note too, but something I've been doing with it. Once I edit the clips down, I'll send them to you so you can use them for your
Okay,
social thing as
thank
well.
you. That
And
sounds dope.
yeah, this has been fun. Thank you for catching up. Probably appreciate it. And it's what are the social handles again? I'll put them up here so they can find.
Okay, cool. Well, the main way to find me is either through Instagram at Geraldine Convento, or on YouTube. You could either type in my name, Geraldine Convento, or it's at Geraldine Convento Digital. Those are the two main platforms that I'm most active on. And from there, you can find all the other handles.
That sounds great. Well, thank you. And if you want to catch up again, I'd love to.
This sounds dope. I'd love to.
All right, we're in peace.
All
Thank
right, take
thank
care.
you.
Bye.